I am making a fast-paced, first-person parkour game with a heavy emphasis on gaining momentum. The game just reached its first alpha stage, so without further ado, here's a developer update on my first game, COASTLINE. The goal of the game is to, as fast as possible, reach the green cube at the end of each level. There will be a predetermined time for each level that you have to beat in order to complete that level. You can complete the levels in any order, but they do progressively get harder. Once the majority of levels are completed, with quick enough times, you win. This level mechanic is still under development, and I wanted to first start actually making the player fun to control before making more and more levels. So I created a few highly polished player abilities to keep things fresh. The player can accelerate passively, double jump, dash, wall run, wall jump, and slide. To show off these mechanics and introduce the player to the feel of the game, I created this tutorial level. I teach the player all the basics with small UI pop-ups, while also giving them plenty of opportunities to test out these new abilities at their own pace. Designing this tutorial area was actually quite difficult, and I ran into a few roadblocks. Firstly, I found that the new players would get frustrated because at first the ocean would always cause you to die and restart. So instead I removed this death effect from the ocean, allowing the player to roam freely and experiment at their own pace. However, to stop them from going too far, I did put up these invisible walls just to keep them on track. The second issue I found with my level was in regards to the art style. It would get really hard at times to know exactly where to go because the path forward and the scenery were very similar in color. To counteract this, I made two primary color palettes. Pinks and reds I reserved for scenery and background effects, and blues, specifically dark contrasting blues, I used to signify the way forward, or interactable geometry. This color palette change really worked, and prevented the confusion on where to go. After designing the basic outline of the level, I made it look spicy and added a few particle effects, because who doesn't like particle effects? I finished off the level with this big green transparent cube. Touching it will push you to the next level, however right now it just pushes you back to the main menu. Speaking of the main menu, let's quickly talk about it. Main menus are in every game. There's not anything really exciting about them, and for this reason I'll just quickly go over my own. I have a level select where you can pick what level to play. I have an options menu where you can adjust audio, change graphics quality, pop in and out of full screen, and adjust the resolution. At the very bottom of the menu, I have a quit button where when you press it, and at the top, I have a how to play button where it'll pull up a menu and explain the basic mechanics of the game for those testing out this alpha build. And finally, I have a send feedback button at the very top, which sends you to an online form where you can input feedback on the demo. That's pretty much it for the main menu. You can get to it at any point by hitting the escape key while in a level and then choose the main menu option. Alright, so we've already covered a lot, and this next part is about the central mechanics of the game and the player feel. Basically, the part that makes game fun. I have this second level you can choose in the alpha build called the Playground. Here, I just let the player loose to experiment, have fun, and try to break the game. First and foremost, I have added areas where you can test all the varying player abilities. I have plenty of walls to run and jump off of. I have platforms to jump on, blocks to dash through, crevices to slide under, and a ton more. I've added some sound effects to all of these abilities. I added some jump sounds, dash sounds, wall jump sounds, footstep sounds, and very importantly, floor touch sounds. Because the player can't double jump again or dash again until they touch the floor, I found that adding a distinct sound when the player touches the floor really helps the player know when they can and cannot jump again. I will be fleshing out these overall player feedback mechanics and adding particle effects and whatnot, but for now this is what I have working for the alpha build. So once I finished making and polishing these player abilities, I made some obstacles. I have swingy balls, rotator fun times, unsteady wibbly wobblies, launcher ramps, speeder roads, gopher blocks, bouncy cars, movie walls, and vanishing platforms. I will be using all of these mechanics in varying levels to give the player a bit more to look out for, and make the levels feel a bit more distinct. All of these mechanics I feel are pretty self-explanatory, but here are a few notable mentions. The Speedy Road is a customizable mesh that the player, when touching, can rapidly increase their speed. This happens passively, and you don't even need to press forward and it will start to move you. You can of course speed up by going forward, but sliding on the road will really start to launch you. Moving on, the rotator fun times and the swingy balls both have this fun feature of knocking the player back. Currently the knockback isn't perfect, like at all. Sometimes it will just send you flying into the air, but I'll fix this probably before the next developer update. That's pretty much everything for the playground. There are a few other minor technical details to go over, but for the actual alpha build, that's pretty much everything. I've already sent this build of the game to a few people who are giving me feedback and telling me areas I can improve the game. As this game progresses and the development of the game progresses, once the game reaches a beta phase, I'll open the game up to the public and let everyone try it if they so choose. COASTLINE is by no means a finished game. It's got quite a ways to go before I feel like it's finished, but I hope in the meantime you can all come along with me on this game creation journey. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'm extremely humbled. If there's anything you want to suggest or see or just say something, feel free to do so. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.